From the hill country to the bay, everything you need to know to hunt, fish, hike, whatever it is you want to do in the great state of Texas, we're going to cover it. There we go. What's in season, what you need, and what's coming next. Welcome to Texas Outdoors.
Your first dove!
I'm your host, Barry Davis. I've been enjoying the Texas Outdoors for decades. Over the next half hour, we're going to look at the fall hunting season, everything there is to do outdoors, and how you can make the most of your time. First thing you have to do, I don't care if you're dove hunting, deer hunting, it doesn't matter, fishing, whatever, you got to know the rules and regulations. And for that, we're joined by Roland Fuentes, game warden with Texas Parks and Wildlife. Roland, thanks for coming out today.
Pleasure, sir. Thank you for having me.
All right, so the big thing, right off the bat, first thing we do is go dove hunting. I want to talk a little dove season.
Yes, sir. Dove season will begin September 1st, 2025, as it normally does here in the central area. Bexar County is huge for dove hunting. A lot of folks come into Bexar to dove hunt. It's important to first have your license. Everybody in Texas, everyone in Texas that hunts has to have a hunting license, regardless of age. I'll give you an example. If a young 10-year-old boy takes a doe or a buck, they have to be able to tag that animal with their tag. Okay, so everyone who hunts in Texas, regardless of age, has to have a hunting license. The kids 16 and under, all they need is a youth hunting license. It's $7. You can purchase online or at our Parks and Wildlife office here in San Antonio.
You also, to dove hunt in Texas, you have to have the migratory bird.
That is correct, sir. That is correct.
Stamp.
So along with your hunting license that you get, there is a migratory game birds endorsement that you purchase with that hunting license, and you need to have that in the field when you're out dove hunting.
So what's the penalty if you forget to get your migratory bird?
So the penalty for that is that it becomes a Class C misdemeanor. The fine can range somewhere between $25 to $500.
And bag limit is what, 15?
Yes, correct. 15 per day here in the central zone, which is where we're at right now. Here in the central zone, it's 15 per day. You have a possession limit of 45 birds in your possession, and the reason for that is because we have a lot of out of city hunters. A lot of hunters come in from Houston, Corpus. They don't just drive in for one day. They'll drive in for and stay for multiple days. So their possession limit when they're headed back to the house is 3 times the daily bag limit, which will be 45 birds. So they are allowed to be in possession when they leave of 45 birds. So basically 3 days worth of hunting.
Bait is always an issue too.
Yes, sir.
You can't dove hunt over bait.
You cannot dove hunt over bait.
What's considered bait?
So baiting is when someone actually physically grabs a bag of feed, grabs a bag of Milo, and purposely scatters it down the road, down the trail, out in the area. If it's an act that they did on purpose to attract birds, then at that point it is considered baiting. And it is the responsibility of the hunter, whoever's in the area, to be aware of the potential of bait being placed.
The zones, do you know where the delineation is for the zones?
Correct.
Is it 90?
Yes, so it's the south zone. The south zone is represented south of Highway 90, west, south of, and then you loop down 1604 on the south side, and then you connect it to I-10 east on the east side going towards Houston. Everything below that line represents the south zone. So those that zone begins later, September 14th of 2025. However, the first 2 weekends of opening of September, there is allowed a special white wing season for folks to be hunted, for folks to hunt down in the south zone. Safety, to me, is the most important part of being out hunting. If I go out to work and I'm able to come back at the end of the day, and if all the hunters in Texas go out to hunt and come back at the end of the day, to me, that is a really good day, because unfortunately, as game wardens, we do respond to hunting accidents. It does occur. Some are serious, some are not so serious, but still an accident is an accident. So it's very important for people to be aware of their surroundings, know their shotgun, know all the rules and regulations.
First thing we go after every year, doesn't matter what the temperature is, dove. They're the smallest thing we hunt, but thousands of us go out every year trying to get them. They're really hard to hit sometimes too. This particular piece was the first and the last for me. I took my then 9-year-old son Garrett on his first dove hunt, and my dad's last. Wow, that's pathetic. You're a pathetic shot, Mr. Davis. No, I wasn't talking about my dad, who went with me on this dove hunt, or my 9-year-old son Garrett, who went along as well.
There you go.
I couldn't very well bust their chops when I was shooting like this. We spent the day just north of Dilley on the Heiner Ranch, where the recent rain and warm temperatures provided almost perfect conditions to hold birds.
It's called Texas croton, doveweed, goatweed, depends on who you ask. And then they'll just walk around. They'll be out in this stuff all day.
There were so many birds, sometimes it was difficult to decide which one to shoot. Darn it. And to be honest, I wasn't really concerned about getting birds. At least, not for me. It was about passing down a tradition handed to me from my dad. This was Garrett's first time getting to shoot.
Your first dove!
Yay!
That was awesome.
Give me some.
That was awesome. When Kurt and I both saw it, we were like, I think that was his first one, and he was hopping around a little bit. It was good to see. Yeah. That's what it's all about.
He actually ended the day with 2, shooting a 410.
I love dove hunting because it's a de-stressor.
My friend Carl Eggers went with us too, and you can see they're not the easiest things to hit.
Takes me away from the office, literally and figuratively, and this time of the year is really.
Get it.
Dang it.
You got that, right?
Dagnabbit.
Dove hunting can also cause stress when you shoot like that. And I shot like that a lot. I eventually did get my limit and a sore shoulder from missing so much.
Get it, Garrett. Get it right behind you.
But again, this day wasn't about me. I was making sure I had a hunting buddy.
There you go. Don't get flustered.
For life.
Just take your time.
Thanks, Dad, for passing this great tradition on to me, and I get to hand it down to my kids. And hey, everybody remember, shooting hours in Texas, half hour before sunrise to sunset. Hunting and guns, they're big things in Texas, but you don't have to wait until hunting season to shoot. As a matter of fact, there's a place in San Antonio you can practice year-round. It's the best place probably in the nation, the National Shooting Complex.
Pull. And missed them both.
Pull. With more than 300 BBs in each shell, you'd think one would hit the clay.
You want to shoot that bottom one first,
All right.
and then move up to that second one. It's
All right.
nice and easy. You know,
It's easy.
It's easy. It can be.
How long did you shoot competitively?
25 years, 20 years.
Easy for him.
That's what the National Shooting Complex is all about. Roughly 700 acres with 45 skeet fields, 47 trap fields, 5 sporting clay courses, and lots of room for more.
Open days are open to the public. A lot of people come out, from first timers to hunters to people from all over the state.
It gives those of us who like to shoot not only a place to practice, but an opportunity at a sport that includes something we love.
Sporting clays, this golf with a shotgun.
In golf, you only have one ball. I have 300 plus BBs. Surely it can't be that hard.
We got some flying in the sky, some rolling on the ground.
It's tougher than it looks. It does help, though, when you have a professional competitive shooter giving you tips.
Pull. All right.
The one rolling on the ground,
Pull.
simulating a rabbit,
Pull.
gave me the most trouble.
Pull.
There you go.
I did. I thought I concentrated. Keep moving. Keep moving. Keep moving.
Like most things, the more you shoot, the better you get. And eventually, you hit more than you miss.
Pull.
There you go. Good one
Nice.
to finish on.
That's the way to finish,
And dead center too.
right?
It's also a great way to stay in shooting shape and get ready for hunting season. An age-old skill making a modern comeback.
Once I harvested my first animal, I didn't ever want to pick a rifle up again.
We're taking aim at the world of 3D archery, how it's hooking the next generation. And it's more than 3,000 acres of fishing heaven.
There he is.
See monster redfish putting up fights.
Freshwater redfish.
We hit Calaveras Lake for the fish fight you don't want to miss.
And coming up, we have the Texas Outdoors forecast. We'll break down lunar activity, look at future temperatures and wind speeds, along with a look at coastal conditions. We'll have the details and more coming up.
When Texas Outdoors returns. While dove season takes us out into the wide open fields, there are tens of thousands of us already getting ready quietly for archery season. Joining me now, Scott Hamlin. Scott,
good to see you, Barry.
thanks, man.
Sir.
Tell me, what's the most important thing, honestly, about archery hunting?
I think the most important thing to make sure that you have an ethical and a really clean harvest of your animal
Absolutely.
is being accurate.
Yeah.
And it's the most important thing that we teach at our academy, where we coach and teach hunters how to hunt. And it is just a must need, because you owe it to the animal to get a clean, ethical kill, so you can harvest it as quickly as possible. There's no suffering.
I think that's probably the biggest mistake that most bow hunters make. You know, we grow up shooting BB guns, then pellet guns, then 22s and rifles, and we hunt. So we shoot constantly.
Yes.
But I don't think most archers shoot enough arrows.
No, they don't. One of the things that we try to impress upon them more than anything is practice. Most of us right now are fishing. It's hot outside, so we're going to be on the lake, and then we'll pick up our bow sometime in the next 4 to 6 weeks to get ready for an October 1 opening. And it's just not enough time to get proficient with the bow. You need to be doing it year-round if you want to get a good, ethical, quick, clean kill. And it's just, I think, imperative.
When you set me up with my bow, when we
Yeah.
were setting it up in the shop, you know, we shot and we zeroed it in and everything, I think at 20 yards or whatever. And then you said, hey, come back here at 40. I told you, no, I said, I don't need to. I won't shoot beyond 30 yards because I'm a very selective archer.
Right.
But it's important, too, that you shoot those longer distances, because honestly, if that big boy comes out there at 40 yards,
You're probably going to shoot.
Right. How much should we shoot that shot?
So that is probably a very polarizing topic, and has been for decades.
Right.
You know, back in the day, the equipment and the archers just weren't that good. Archers were good, equipment not. And to shoot 50, 60, 70 yards was unheard of. In today's world, archery now, the bows that we have, the limbs that we have, the cam systems that we have, they can be accurate out to 100. I practice at 100. Now, it sounds crazy. I don't actually kill there, but it makes my 40, 50, and 20-yard shots pretty much elementary. So we encourage all of our students to shoot as far as you can and hit the target and practice there. So when that big buck comes in at 20 or 30 yards, you're just blooming with confidence, and you're going to make a good clean kill.
Nothing will get you closer to hunting than sticks and strings. I've been a bow hunter for about 40 years, but in all honesty, I haven't shot a lot here lately. So when a friend suggested I try 3D archery, I couldn't wait. For those of us who bow hunt, it's almost primal. No bullets, no gunpowder, and very little sound. Once you pull back, it's hard to stop.
I think once you get started, it's addicting, very addicting, because to me, once I harvested my first animal, I didn't ever want to pick a rifle up again, ever. And I haven't since 2006.
Raul Reyes is so into archery, you might say it's an obsession.
This is my decompression, you know, from long days at work. I'll go out in the back and I'll shoot 50, 60 arrows, on weekends, weeknights.
That obsession led him and 3 friends to create Fletcher Brothers Archery Club. That led to 3D archery tournaments.
I shot at state, and out of like 60 in my class, I shot
60?
I shot 18th, and there's a lot of good shooters.
Out of 60?
Out of 60.
The tournaments put archers in situations much like they'd face in the field, shooting at realistic foam targets.
All the rings are anatomically correct to the vitals of a deer. So basically, the more times you shoot at that same spot, when the moment of truth comes, you're going to know where to aim and shoot.
Right. But knowing where to aim doesn't always mean where you aim is where you hit.
Oh, I crippled him.
I figured since I was there already, why not get a few tips from an expert?
Hold the bow up and try to see the arrow go through your sight. And that way you know that you're not dropping your arm.
Right.
It's been a couple of years since I'd shot. It was amazing how much skill you lose with something like archery if you don't keep practicing.
Instead of trying to like squeeze to the shot, instead of trying to jerk a little bit.
I do jerk a little.
You jerk a little bit.
I can tell. You know what that is? That's rust. That's that finger raking across that rust.
Yeah. The archery tournaments aren't just for big boys either. They have women's classes and classes to make sure the tradition is passed on.
The kids are our future. So like here, little Tyler right here, he shoots, and 8-year-old, and he shoots junior class, and to me it's like starting them off early, exposing to archery, and they'll get addicted and they want to continue to bow hunt the rest of their lives.
Even when they're not so young. And the arrow no longer goes where the shooter's eye is looking.
I did hit him in the leg.
Deer, dove, duck, especially with turkeys, if the weather's not just right, it can really affect whether or not you're going to be successful. For that, let's go to Ryan Shoptaw in the studio and find out just how much the weather plays a role in hunting and fishing.
Hey there, I'm meteorologist Ryan Shoptaw with your Texas Outdoors forecast. Take a look. Temperatures this time of year between mid-August and mid-September. It's hot, mid to upper 90s, lower 100s all across the state, with some sparse areas of scattered rain between West Texas and towards Houston and towards South Texas as well. All right, so coming up, we're going to break down the lunar phases, the moon brightness, and its impacts on fishing and hunting. Wind speeds mostly in from the south and east. That's going to continue to usher in high humidity. And overall, by and large, average precip is expected in the long-range forecast, and we'll go into detail in a second. First, the Texas daylight. It's this time of year we experience about, let's say, 13 to 13 and a half hours of daylight, and you can see here is the sunrise across the state. El Paso at 7:29, and let's say 8:51 on the sundown. McAllen picking up on a sunrise at 7:04 with sunset around 8:10, and Austin 6:56 to 8:13, again around 13 to 13 and a half hours of daylight. Now, earlier in the month, on August 9th, we had a full moon, 100% brightness by about, let's say, the 22nd and 23rd, down to 0. That's going to have a pretty big impact on hunting during the day and overnight as well. Overall, excellent to good conditions with the moon down to that lack of brightness. By the 24th and 25th, still fair conditions as it's gaining some brightness, still a waxing crescent on Sunday, August 24th. And same conditions on Monday, August 25th. So pretty good conditions for hunting and fishing out there. Speaking of, here's the coastal forecast. Next couple of weeks, I would say ranging on the order of 1 to 3 feet on those wave heights between Galveston, Rockport, Port Aransas, Corpus Christi, down to Port Isabel. With those winds, I would say ranging from 5 to 15 knots. That's going to create overall smooth conditions out on the bay, maybe at the extent of a light chop between Port Aransas, Corpus Christi, and down to South Padre Island. Temperatures in the upper 80s for those waters, pretty hot this time of year. 81 degrees on the observation buoy over at Port Isabel in deep South Texas near South Padre Island. Lake levels looking great. I mean a surplus of a lot of water these last several weeks. And look at this, Canyon Lake up to 68.4% full. Lake Texana, 95% full. Lake Travis up to about 90% full. And that third column is showing you what's biting out across our Texas lakes. For example, a lot of lakes carrying those largemouth bass, catfish, white bass, and striped bass between Lake Travis, Canyon Lake, and Lake Buchanan. There's Lake Fork, almost 100% full. It's up to that at Lake Texoma. Blue and channel catfish are biting. Large bass and white and striped bass are biting as well. Sam Rayburn Lake, 76.1% full. The only thing we're watching is Choke Canyon, down to 12.6% full, along with Medina Lake, that's at about 6%. So those are two lakes that are not doing too hot this time of year. All right, here's Barry's game bag. Send in your photos to the KENS 5 app or text 210-366-0200. We can feature your photos and videos here on Texas Outdoors. Whether you're hunting or fishing, we'll make sure to use your photos and content here on KENS 5. All right, temperature outlook. West Texas looks like they'll experience a heat wave through the end of the month and into early September. Temperatures likely running a few degrees above average. East Texas, very similar, but closer to normal towards Louisiana. More rainfall expected for the northern Gulf, and West Texas likely going to experience a dry spell as they do this time of year in the late August and early September. Below average rainfall is expected west of San Antonio. All right, here's your extended forecast. High temperatures, upper 90s and lower 100s. A lot of sunshine this time of year into the end of August. Daytime highs right around the lower to middle 90s based on normal, with some triple digits expected between McAllen, West Texas, San Antonio, and towards Austin.
You know, everybody thinks you have to go to the coast to catch redfish, but that's not true. As we found out in this piece, at Calaveras Lake, they grow big. When the pandemic hit, it didn't take long for all the state parks to close down.
The RV park has opened, not full, but halfway, I was just told. The store's still closed, and of course, you got the whole pier's open. There's a pier over here.
So when fishing guide Manny Martinez told me things were back open, we couldn't wait to get on the water.
Between us and here in 50, here's a school of redfish right here.
Our morning traffic anchor and meteorologist Stacia Wilson said she hadn't been fishing in 6 or 7 years. So I thought, well, that'd be fun to take her along.
Once you open it, you're ready to fire. And when you fire, see, Barry's already cheating. He's already on the go.
It didn't take long before Stacia was casting like a pro.
There you go, Stacia. There you go.
And it didn't take long before Manny put us on some fish.
That's off to the right?
Yeah, but I want you to throw the left.
You want me to throw the left? That doesn't sound right. Fish are to the right of the boat. See how he does me?
We were throwing silver spoons in about 14 feet of water. Stacia and I didn't seem to be having any luck. Manny, on the other hand,
there he is. I knew it. He'd come for it.
He seemed to know the secret. I had 4 or 5 bump my lure, but
freshwater redfish.
Manny put 5 or 6 on the boat before I even had a serious strike.
This, guys, is a future redfish. Here we go again. Future fish. And Stacia Wilson said, what's the old saying, Stacia? Do it what?
Put me back in the water. Put me back in the water.
Stacia kept throwing out like a pro, but no matter how many times she cast, the fish didn't seem to be going after her lure either. Then I remember what I told her about catching her first fish.
It's time to say goodbye, Stacia.
Goodbye, Mr. Fish.
Go girl.
I'm free.
You know when you catch a fish, you have to kiss your first fish.
No, I'm not gonna kiss a fish.
Okay. Texas Parks and Wildlife stocked the fish we were catching about 1.5 years ago, so they're not quite ready to keep.
Less than 1.5 years, these fish are ready to go. And then the next following year, here we come again. So.
What about the fish of today?
Oh, they're
What about the fish for dinner?
Oh, those are the big ones. They're way out there.
The fish for dinner. We weren't fishing for dinner anyway, which is a good thing because I only caught 1.
Well, it's about time. Only took me the biggest part of the day, and he's not on board yet.
What does it for this week's Texas Outdoors? Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you learned a little something along the way. If you've got somewhere you'd like to see us go, or maybe something you'd like to see us do, email me, bdavis@kens5.com. Try to get out and enjoy the outdoors.